Alright guys, how are we? Belfast boxing and blues. Yeah. Yes, Vergil Ortiz just seems to be alright, doesn't he? He's a decent fighter. He's alright. He looked good against that guy, Bochuk. I thought he looked great, really. Attractive style, easy on the eye, like, you know what I mean? Fights well off the back foot, sort of uses his head as bait, for want of a better phrase. But he, yeah, leads with a body shot either side, nice punch selection, all that stuff. Yeah, he's good to watch. Knocked down a couple of times, twice officially, maybe a third where he touched down with the glove as well. I think all three of them were pretty much in that same ballpark. Yeah, it's not like he was knocked flat on his hole or nothing like that there, But yeah, I mean it's very timely considering what just happened with Terence Crawford. I suppose people that don't casuals, let's just say, might have watched that fight and thought there wasn't a lot of action. Well, Terence Crawford isn't very good all of a sudden, you know what I mean? And straight off the back of that, we have this guy who's fancy flying, doing all sorts of, decent stuff. Because he had been forgotten about, hadn't he? Ortiz. I think he got sick or something like that. I think that essentially his career was over. He had some illness, and that was just it. And they sort of says, look, we're resigned to this. But we're going to sort of... we're not going to stop trying to get the thing back together again. And I think he's fought 3 times this year. That's the 3rd time he's fought this year. So he must have just got his ass in gear at the start of this year. And things started looking again... started looking good for him. Because watching him the other night, you wouldn't have thought he had a career killing injury or illness or whatever it was that apparently happened to him. I say apparently as if there were any question or mystery over which there isn't. Of course, why would there be? But yeah, like I say, it's made things interesting. People don't seem to be linking the two names that much. Probably it's a case of Ortiz hasn't really done so much in his career to merit that kind of an opportunity. You know what I mean? But it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think they're talking about matching him up with Tim Tszyu and Crawford with Fundora, which I think will be an interesting fight. I haven't watched loads of Fundora, but he's massive. We know that much, don't we? He's about 10 foot tall, big long arms, but probably wouldn't sort of be the war of attrition that it was, even though it was very sort of touch and go against your man, Madridov. I realised, by the way, that I did a video the other night calling him Masvidal. I was mispronouncing his name flat out the whole way through. But, yeah, I mean, he was great. Obviously, he was a big guy. And, yeah, Crawford was smart not to pick his spots, you know what I mean? With Fundora, it'd be an interesting fight, with the technical capability of Crawford, he might be able to get in there and... do some interesting stuff, if he can get in on the inside, and it'll be like a circus act. Not quite, but I know what I know anyway. You know what I mean? He's a big guy though, isn't he? He's a tall, rangy fellow. Like he's massive. Like he's bigger than Tommy Hearns. But I that's just wanted to have a wee chat about that, guys. It's not the most detailed or professional boxing opinion video. It's just a bit of nonsense, really, isn't it? But a further bit of nonsense. It's doing my research as you do, and I don't know where I come across. I was reading some article. Must have been Boxing Scene or something, and it was Stephen Espinosa was talking bits and pieces, and Al Haymon's name was mentioned. I thought he was off the scene by this stage, and Turkey had been brought in, and he was sort of the new background figure, making those moves. But Haymon's still in there. But apparently, Al Haymon's brother was a fighter, right? I fought as a pro and fought Sugar Ray Leonard. That mightn't come as a surprise to some of the hardcores. But to me, I lapped that up. I thought that was brilliant. Anyway, guys, look, that's pretty much all I've got to say. It's not that great, is it? But it'll be interesting to see what happens with Ortiz. I should say, I watched a video, I think it was last night. Some fella, it might have been a woman, I'm not sure. It was somebody, and they did a whole thing on it was like a whole conspiracy theory boxing vid, that was done on the Crawford Madridov fight. And basically, whoever it was comparing the Crawford's jab. He said Crawford turned, he was very smart to turn southpaw so that he could use a strong-handed jab, even though I think he's left-handed. So he was using his right-handed jab. Probably both his hands are pretty strong, aren't they? But whoever it was compared Crawford's southpaw jab to the Bruce Lee one-edge punch. Says it was pretty much the same thing, and it's like a notorious punch in just fighting. So I don't know about that, but I thought it was interesting. But there it goes. Just a bit of nonsense, isn't it? But yeah, maybe the next video I'll do, I'll actually, add something to the conversation.